Yo, what up guys, Beside here. This is finally my champion guide or champion spotlight for this May fusion, a new fusion that was released into the game, and it was unique in the way they released it because the community, we the players, had the opportunity to choose this champion skills. His name is Vault Keeper Wixwell, and despite how you see his name, Vault Keeper is definitely one that you want to keep in the vault. You want to be using this champion in your teams. In this video, I want to take a look at a deep dive into his skills, understand how it works, and then of course we'll go into some battles and test him out in the most impressive content where a lot of newer players will use him the most, and I'll show you maybe in my endgame account where I might be using him. Alright, let's dive in right here and tell you about this champion's character design. It was pretty detailed and is very unique to raid because he came in with his own special effect. It wasn't a copy from any existing champion at all. So that's him right here, Secret Order, and he has a lore that you might want to read and understand how it works or how it came about into the game. But first off, I want to talk about his skills. A1 Provoke. It's a 40% chance of placing this provoke, but against bosses it will be a 80% chance. When you spend books on it, it will be a 100% chance. Whenever people see a A1 provoke that is 100% chance, they think of the Hydra head that needs to be provoked consistently so it doesn't cleanse. That's the head. I think it's head of decay that you should probably place this provoke on. It's a consistent provoke because it's 100% against bosses, and that Hydra head counts as a boss. Another content that you should provoke 100% of the chance of the time is Magma Dragon in the Doom Tower, right? When you place that provoke on that head, you don't get all those big damage and different skills that he does. He just does his basic skills. Those are the two content that A1 provoke is especially good at against bosses. Now for against wave content, this 40% chance will always land on wave. When I test out the battle content, you see him land this provoke in wave content. Whenever they hit him, he will most likely go in there and place that provoke. Why? Because he has a counter attack. Where is it? Let me go ahead to that A3. No, it's the A2, right? No, it's actually his passive that has the counter attack. But anyway, his A2 places a decrease attack. AoE decrease attack is normal thing we normally see from epic champions. For him, he's coming to it with a legendary version. It seems like it's going to be a 75% chance when not booked, but it will be a 100% chance of landing AoE decrease attack, which means your allies will take less damage from the enemies. To spread along all the enemies, they'll all get this big version of decrease attack on a 3-turn cooldown when you spend books on this skill. That's not all. This skill is the one that increases, it places shield, right? This, where is it? Oh, this one does not place the shield. This one increases the value of shield, so then increases the value of all shields on all allies. The value of each shield is increased proportional to the total number of buffs which had their duration increased. So somebody like a Sepulchre Sentinel, somebody like a any ally protector, increase defense, shield, any buff you have on your allies will have their duration increased by 1 turn, right? So that's it right here. But this will increase shield buff even higher. The value of the shield will be increased proportional to the number of buffs. So it depends on how many buffs that you have on your allies. I'll test this out in battle and I'll actually see how big of a shield and he will have on our allies, because he also lands the shield on them. That's the skill that lands the shield. Places a 60% increased defense and a shield. So you most likely want to have him placing this shield before you go in with this skill to increase the value of the shield, right? Or increase the duration of buffs also. So most likely want to place the shield first and increase defense first before he goes in. Hopefully on auto he does this first. It's quite unfortunate if he goes into battle with the decreased attack first and then goes into this one next. But you can always set it in the team presets which skill he should prioritize in battle. So the value of shield is proportional to his defense. This is the basic shield he will land, and whenever you see champions who land shield based on their defense, it's usually a fat shield. I know HP based champions usually put big shields. Yes, Miscreated Monster, Valkyrie and others. And there are others who place shields, big shields. But defense based shields are kind of more valuable because it makes that champion himself more tankier. HP based champions can be tanky, but defensive based champions are a lot more tanky. Except if you look them with total 100% ignore defense, that's when they can go down to them. But yeah, he will place increased defense and shield. Two buffs that you might use in almost every content in raid, you need that increased defense and shield. Now there's a new buff that he is launching. This is the first time you see this buff. The name is Intercept, and we've never seen this in raid. He was a unique champion that was launched with this buff first. He most likely won't be the last. There are other champions later that will come up over the months and years who will also have this buff. So what's so unique about it? You know how block debuff buff stops you from getting the stun, stops you from getting decrease defense, decrease attack, anything that the enemy wants to do to you, block debuff buff stops it. Well, Intercept works in a similar way, but the difference is this one doesn't go to all allies. He puts it on one ally. He'll just be putting it on each of his allies that don't have it yet. So if he places it on one ally, this one does not block decrease defense, decrease attack. It only blocks crowd control debuff. I'm talking about stun, freeze, provoke, right? So any crowd control debuff that will stop your ally from doing what they are supposed to do, that will make them not move, that will make them not use their skill. Talking about stun, fear is also one of them. So all those crowd control debuff is what it will block. So it doesn't block all the debuff in raid. That's what I'm saying. So that's it right here. It doesn't just make the buff not land, it makes it just disappear. I'll see it in battle when you have 2 stacks of intercept intercept buff on yourself, and then the enemy tries to stun you. Intercept becomes 1. If the enemy takes their turn, takes 2 turns, you take 3 turns, intercept will remain 2. If nobody tries to place a crowd control debuff on you, intercept will still remain 2. So the only thing that makes intercept count down is when the enemy tries to place crowd control debuff on you. So you see it in battle that this intercept will be on all our allies until they try to take a stun, sleep, provoke, freeze. That's when you see countdown from 1. So if you want to find more details about intercept buff, you can click here to this buff and debuff. Scroll all the way down. It's a long read, but you'll find it worthy reading so you know how this new buff works. I have to spend much time on this skill because it's the most unique thing about this champion. He's the first of his kind in raid that has this intercept, and when it was launched, a lot of people did like this buff, and they find ways where they're going to use it. One content that this is going to be very, very helpful in is going to be the clan boss, demon lord clan boss, or even in the Hydra, where you have some heads placing fear or through fear on you. So that's it right here. You can use it for that content. Take a look at it, read it, and understand how it works so you know how to use it best for your teams. So that's the A3, right? Intercept places 2 intercept stacks on a target ally, and then the increased defense and shield. Right now for the passive, which makes his skills even much better, he's gonna place a counter attack at the end of each round. So he just does his normal hit, does his normal thing, and then places a counter attack on himself. As he's stopping his abilities, he just places the counter attack at the end of this champion's turn. Also at the start of the round, places counter attack buff on this champion for 1 turn. This buff cannot be removed. He does it at the start and also at the end. It's kind of crazy. So you see him starting with counter attack and ending with counter attack. The first one will seems like it cannot be removed. The second part can be removed if the enemy tries to remove it. So you have to be careful about this counter attack in the Hydra, because if it gets stolen, you know they can spread it all the way to their allies. So careful about counter attack. His defensive base, his damage will be based on defense, so it makes sense that they gave this champion a defense based aura. But it's not just in particular content, it's for all content. Increases the ally defense in all battles by 28% when you have this champion in the leader slot in your battle. So in all the content that I'll be trying, whether it's the dungeons all the way to the clan boss, I will have this champion in the leader slot, because so far it seems like since he's a legendary, he's the champion with the highest defensive aura I've seen right now for my particular teams. Maybe there will be others who probably have 30% defensive percentage increase for all the allies, but him so far is the very high one. If you check out the reviews, everybody's rating this champion high, and he's totally what all these good reviews is getting right now. So highly recommended you build this champion and not keep him in the vault, even if his name says Vault Keeper Wixwell. It's time for me to go over to my champion build and show you how I build him. I'm gonna test him out in some content, but first, how should you build Vault Keeper? Now that you've seen his skills and understood what he needs, You see that he lands provoke, right, and decrease attack. That means he'll need accuracy. You see that he's a champion who scales based on his defense in terms of the shields he puts out. That means he will need high defense. These are the two stats you should be focused on when you're building champions like this. Now you know he needs accuracy and he needs also high defense. So that's the two stats I was focused on. If you can meet those two stats requirements, you can now say, okay, what about speed? What about HP? What about resistance? What about crit rate? What about crit damage? But first of all, focus on 2 or 3 stats. Once you hit those stats requirements, you can spread all the way to the others. So always I'll recommend that you focus more on stats than on sets. This is an endgame build, but I'll always recommend newer players pull this champion in an old-fashioned lifestyle. I'll not jump in here with an endgame build. I'll tell you this is the beginner set that is valuable and very important for champions like this. So at the start of the game, you're farming a lot of dragon. You have nowhere to go than putting this champion in lifestyle so you can self-sustain. He's not placing ally protection on the allies or anything, but at least to keep himself alive, self-sustain, that's the set for him in the early game. Why? Because he'll be used in the dungeons, he'll be used in the clan boss demon lord. So that's the set that works in those two places without fail. You'll be hitting and getting your health back as you do a little bit of damage, including with wall master hit. I'll show his masteries also. So that's the early game set. No way to go about that. If you don't want to focus on 4-piece set, of course you can always switch it up and add some speed and defense into it, mix it up any way you can. 1-piece set, I mean 2-piece set, 2-piece set is totally fine for you to mix it up if you don't want to go towards that lifesteal set, because defensive sets will keep him very tanky also and make him place big shield. This is not a champion that we want to put in this old-fashioned shield set. So because he's not HP based champion, he will not benefit from this shield set like we normally put on others, I think. So now for the end game players who are looking to use this champion, it seems like it depends on whether your team is speed tuned or not. If you have a speed tuned team, you always want to go towards a set that will not, make him take numerous turns and all that stuff. But I went towards a set that is sure to help any champion that wants to increase duration of buffs, any champion that wants to keep putting big shields out for us, any champion that wants to keep placing provoke on an A1. I went with Relentless because it seems like it's a set that works perfectly for a lot of champions in raid, and he fits that bill because I want him to keep using that A1. I want him to keep increasing the duration of the shield, or increasing the value of the shield by increasing the duration of buffs that we have on ourselves. So there are a lot of champions that pair well with this Wixwell, but we are not going to go into that. A lot of videos have already been done with that. I just want to focus on only him in this video and showcase his main power that he can bring to your teams. So what other artifact sets can you use in the end game? It's all up to you. I tell you, you cannot go wrong with this one. Stalwart is an option. Reflex sets is also a valuable one for champions who want to take numerous turns or who want to make sure their skills do not go on long cooldowns. Fine, 3-turn cooldown is not that long, but with reflex sets, it can always be available for him to use it again as soon as he just used it the previous time. So this is not a champion to put in immortal at all. He doesn't benefit from that high HP builds. But resilience is not a bad choice for you to go, and perception is also not a bad choice. I'll even see some who need high amount of accuracy on him go triple perception sets. That's not the wrong build. That's also totally fine as long as you meet the other defensive stats, HP, speed and other stats also. Perception is a nice one for you to put on this champion if you're not meeting accuracy requirements from your banners or even an accuracy test. All right, I've not seen this champion being used in arena, but I don't know if Stone Skin is the recommended one, but definitely not. For champions who put out a bunch of buffs, he does increase defense and shield. Some people put him in protection in content like arena. I've not seen a single Wixwell in arena. So he's not really an arena focused champion. That's why this protection and Stone Skin don't make sense for his build, right? Use that in other champions instead who are focused only on arena. So that's my artifact set recommendations. Let me know in the comments how you built yours. Did you mix and match, or did you just focus on Relentless or early game builds? I'd love to know in the comments below. Now for us to take a look at the total stats and test this champion out in battle. but I'll first click on some stats so you can see what I was looking for. I was looking for accuracy, speed, HP, speed, accuracy, a little bit of crit wasn't a high priority. HP, accuracy, speed, more speed. I didn't want him to be slow. Endgame content, I don't want this champion to be like 180, 150 speed. I wanted him to be well above 200 speed. That's why I see my first one has speed, my second one has speed, my third set also has speed. A little bit of HP and resistance added right here. Check out the glove. Normally on a damage dealer, we'll put crit damage glove and crit rate substat. Right here, I did not want to focus on damage for this champion, so I went straight towards defense because I wanted him in my team for that big shield he's going to place for the allies. So he's there as a supporting champion, not like a champion who wants to do damage. So I'll leave the damage dealers to have their crit damage glove while he is there to just place that big shield. Also has speed substat, HP substat, resistance added to it. On the chest, I went towards HP. If you want even more defense, you can go towards defense right here. Accuracy substat, more defense, and then normally some players will even go defense on the boots. I wanted this champion to be fast, so I went towards speed on the boots right here. Defense, amulet normally for damage dealers is crit damage. I went towards more defense. That's why you see his defense will be so high when I show you my total stat. Of course, accuracy on the banner because he needs enough accuracy to land that provoke and the decreased attack that is on the A2. All right, my total stat that I got on Wixwell, the most impressive stat out of everything you have to read is this defense stats because that's the most important thing. 5,427 defense is a high number for me. I don't think I have any champion who is currently at this number right now on my entire account. The HP is too high. He doesn't really benefit from all this, but since I'm not going to focus on damage for him, I was like, let's just put it into defense and HP, and that's what I was able to achieve. Check out the speed. It is not slow. 243 Wixwell is a fast one for endgame content for sure. He will most likely be a little bit faster or in range with the enemies 1-for-1 speed. Check out crit rate. Nowhere to be found because I went into HP defense survivor stat support role that I did not even focus on crit rate. Normally, even if a champion who is not built for damage, you should at least give them that 100% crit rate, even if you're not focused on crit damage. So I sacrificed all my crit. I did not look at that at all. It's because I wanted a high defense. That's why my crit is poor. Now, if I want to sacrifice some HP, maybe come down to 60k HP, then my crit might go up to maybe 80%, and that's something I might do later by making sure I have a crit in that in one of my stats or something. All right, check out resistance. 271 is enough resistance for early game content, but 417 is enough accuracy for end game content. So I was focusing on accuracy and resistance a little bit. Normally on a champion like this that is not focused on damage, those are the two stats that we also need. Like I said, high resistance will be needed to make sure his counter attack does not get stolen in the Hydra, but the resistance is not enough. It's not enough for Hydra Nightmare, obviously. Probably will need to boost it up a little bit more so it doesn't get his counter attack stolen. He might be the target for the head that wants to steal those buffs, so careful about that in the Hydra if you need him for that content. For mastery recommendation, it will be all up to you, but since it's going to be mostly used for the clan boss, you cannot go wrong with a War Master. Since he's the champion that needs accuracy, you want all these little two ways of getting some accuracy, heading towards this one that will increase the duration of those and decrease attack that he lands on the enemies. So that's the standard one. You can check out Hate's website for other masteries options. Check out for his blessing also. A lot of people are going to put this champion in cruelty or brimstone. In my team, I already have somebody else doing brimstone, so I thought put him in cruelty. Since there's a 5-star blessing already, is going to add these basic stats is the same for every blessing except this cruelty that is just going to, add a little bit more stats for him by decreasing enemy's defense a little bit by each time he hits them. So that's nice for because he has a counter attack which is gonna help him get to that number real quick. So those are the best recommendations that I forgot to add in the video. All right, as usual with my champion guys, I want to test this champion out in some content. The first content I'll take him into is, let's just do a simple run of arena. And yes, before recording this video, I was testing it out in brutal where he was farming level, and surprisingly for me, he could solo it. I mean, it's not a fast run or anything since he's not even crit cap. He could not nuke the waves in one go. If he's crit cap or something, he probably will be able to do it. But whenever they hit him, he counterattacks. Whenever they hit him, he counterattacks. So it makes the run a little bit faster. It's not a 16 seconds run or anything, but it's you're in no danger of failing the run at all. It's a totally safe run the entire time. So of course, not a recommended one for campaign farmer. I just wanted to show that he could do it. So for those players who are having a problem with those, what's his name now, the last stage, this champion who keeps placing block revive on you, you might maybe put in Wixwell for your team to help you. For Nightmare campaign, he might be able to help in that content. Let's go to the main content that newer players need this champion for, which is probably going to be the dungeons. And if you're a newer player getting this champion, put him into your dungeon team. I've put together a joke. When I say a joke, I mean this is a trash dungeon team made up of champions who are clearly early game stats that I don't use anymore, and Wixwell here to save them all. So I just wanted to showcase his power in a team like this. This is Dragon 20, where the wave hits extremely hard, the hoardings and all that, and then the boss will breathe fire on you. And we have Frozen Banship to place that poison on the boss, but we'll have nobody to take care of the wave on purpose. I want to see whether Wixwell can do it by keeping us alive and holding his own also. No healer also in the team. Well, she heals a little bit, but it won't be enough. Let's test the battle with his aura defense in all battles being the leader slot. He's now adding 28% defense to all these allies, which is good. Let's test it and see his skills in action. I'll put this one in 1 speed so we don't rush through it too fast. The battle has not started. He has already put that counter attack on himself. Surprisingly, he's not the fastest champion on my team. She is faster than him. Well, she put just a little bit tiny shield on us, right? If I put it on auto, what does he start the battle with? Let's see. He started the battle with that wrong skill. He just increased the duration of all the buffs on us. So maybe you want to make him prioritize this skill. He's supposed to place the increased defense and shield first before he, tries to increase the duration. I'm just going to exit and try it again. I don't want him to use that skill first. So let's head to the presets and set that up so Wixwell never uses that skill first. I want to open with this one instead. Open with that. Even for turn 2, open with that. That solves the problem. So whenever it's available, he can always open with that. Then after then, he can do whatever he wants to do. All right, that champion will place a tiny shield on us, and he will go in there and put even a bigger shield. Check out the fat shield on these champions. I hope they take some damage right now. Let's see. Did he just get an extra turn? What happened? Okay, I forget. He's in a relentless set. That's the beauty of relentless set. I was so shocked that why is he going again? It's because he's in a relentless set, which gives him a percentage chance of getting an extra turn, which rocked right now. Check out the buff on him. He also plays that intercept buff on himself. Do we have anybody who is going to try to stun us or something in this wave? Whether there's an enemy that is going to stun you, freeze you or not, he's still going to place that buff on a random ally where you can select who he places it on. I think, is it random? On a target ally, so you cannot target who he places this intercept buff on by clicking on that ally when you want to use that skill. That's nice. All right, on auto, what skill will he use? Hopefully the A2. He just increased duration of the counter attack, increased duration of the shield, increased duration of the increased defense that he plays, increased duration of even the continuous heal small version that the other champion plays. So the number of buffs he increased the duration of will determine the value of the shield that will be expanded. So let me just go in here with my A1. Just want to see what he really does to this team. Basically, with this amount of shield on us, we're not scared of taking any damage. We will survive it, right? A1, provoke. That A1 landed, he hit twice, it landed the provoke like we needed it to. I'm waiting for some damage. Where are the damage? With a big shield like this, it feels like you will not take any damage. Where are the champions that hit me hard? It did nothing basically. So whether you're fighting Dragon 20 or Dragon 25 or Dragon hard mode, or even against difficult bosses, you're there to always have big shield on yourself. His shield just fell off because he's taking too many turns. But everybody else have their shield on him. See the counter attack? He got hit, he counter attacked. He's finally taking some damage. He plays that provoke again. I'm waiting for his skills to come back again. Alright, his skills is available again. If I let him, he's probably going to use this skill. So I'll go in there and use this one. Instead, I'll place another shield on me. So before the enemies can start breaking your first shield, you can go in there and place the second one. Now, if you have the ability to make the A2 work more often, you might be able to increase the shield duration even longer so it doesn't fall off from all your allies. This champion does just replace my shield with a tiny one. So careful when you're bringing somebody else that places shield with this champion in the same team. They might replace his shield. He still increased the duration though. He doesn't mind. Alright, I think we've seen enough of Wixwell in the dragon, but he's there to just place big shields on your allies to keep them alive. Check out the allies, check out the enemies also. They all have decreased attack on themselves, placed by nobody else but him. He places decreased attack. He's there to place provoke on them. So instead of hitting your squishy allies, they will hit him instead. So he's doing his role for this team, for this wave, keeping them alive as he should. He's not doing it through healing. He's not doing it through any ally protection or anything. He's doing it through big shields, counter attack, and provoke. That's what he's doing right here. All right, let me end the battle. We don't need to see it all the way to the end, but it will be a safe run if you put it on auto and walk away. A long run, yes, but you might want to bring in AoE damage dealers, decrease defense, and let it run faster. I was just doing this team as a sample for us to understand how this champion works in wave content. Now that you've seen how it works, it means he can be slot in as your champion that keeps your allies alive in a way in any teams. If you don't yet have a good healer, good reviver, those two things are essential in every team. He slots in as a champion that supports the healer or supports the reviver. He's not supposed to be the only support champion in the team. As you can see, we're still taking some damage. If somebody goes down, he won't be able to revive. So he has his limitations as a supporting champion. So bring in a reviver, bring in a healer to help support him. He will need that support. Now, this champion guide or champion spotlight will not be complete without me showcasing Wixwell in the content where a lot of people are hyping him for. They did champion builds or team builds that showed millions of damage in the Demon Lord clan boss, and he unlocked clan boss for a lot of newer players who are coming in for the first time. They're fine doing brutal, fine doing nightmare, and you got Wixwell and he unlocked ultra nightmare for you. How? Because of special teams. You can check out Wixwell clan boss team on the YouTube. There you find a lot of videos that have been put out. I just want to showcase a simple clan boss team where he will just be doing the same thing he did in the dragon, right? Where is the team that I put together for the clan boss? Something like where is it right there? This, something like this. So this is not the Infinity Shield comp, obviously. That's a separate type of build, separate type of Wixwell, separate type of team where you have big shields coming in and the value of the shield just gets so large that you take 0 damage. Those teams are very special, so I didn't want to build that. I just wanted to showcase him in content like this, and that's how I'll end the video, with the clan boss run that will run all the way and see how long we can survive against the clan boss, and that's where I'm going to end it. So hopefully you guys like this one. Hit that like button for me if it helps you out better understand your Wixwell and how it works, and let me know in the comments where you use your champion. Obviously he's not going to be my clan boss champion. That's why I did not bother all this time to build him for that content or build a team around him. I was fine with my monitor, the unkillable team, but if you don't have your unkillable team yet, you're still dealing with a killable team, sort of a counter-attack team. You know, those type of teams that just do 3-key ultra nightmare. He can be one of those champions that come in there and even make it a 2-key ultra nightmare until one day you get that unkillable teams going for yourself and do the 1-key ultra nightmare that you desire. All right, This team is not spitting or anything. I just put it on auto and let them run. Not quick battle though, because that would be a disaster. We want to set it on auto and let it run. But like I said, I have to set Wixwell to open with his shield. Where is the skill? He has to open with this so he doesn't use the wrong one. All right, I'll see you at the end of the run. We're almost at the end when we see how much damage we got before he closes off. And yeah, let me start it right now. Good luck, Wixwell. I've not run it before starting this video. I just wanted to see how it's gonna work. Now I brought in some champions who will help add buffs. So now we have total 4 buffs on all of us, and Wixwell is hoping to. Now we even have 5 buffs on each of us. Wixwell, where is it? He's not gonna increase the value of the shield based on how many buffs we have. He uses A1. No, he does a counter attack, and that's the growth shield that we're talking about. He did a shield growth. Hopefully the shields don't fall off before we get the opportunity to use it again. Yeah, let me get off the screen and let this one run in 2 speed and see it at the end. All right, I'm back. Let me explain a little bit what was happening in the background. You can see my what's her name now. She went down so fast. My damage dealer or my decrease defense and weaken champion right here, Lydia. She went down so fast because she has relentless set, so she was losing her shield so far. This was considered a successful run, even if it's a 20 million damage, 25 million damage. 30 million damage would have been successful, but we came up to a 40 million damage with the help of Ratalos and Geomancer doing big damage on the boss, while Wixwell was busy keeping us alive. Ally protection from Toragi the Frog and some poison also brought us to these damage numbers for a 2-key Ultra Nightmare team. It's going to be a successful one for sure, because if you notice, Wixwell had this Intercept buff on all of everybody of the allies right now. They have the Intercept right here. That's the buff. Intercept, 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 and he was wise enough to place it on each of the allies. He wasn't just placing it only on himself. He always spreads it across anybody that doesn't have it, or it falls off them. He places it again for 2 turns. So he was very, very wise with this one. With this Intercept buff in the team, you do not need a block debuff buffer. You don't need those buffs on yourself to block the stun anymore. You don't even need a cleanser that is going to cleanse the stun, but a cleanser would have helped me remove this decrease attack that I was getting from the boss that is reducing my damage. So that's something to watch out for. This champion definitely is worth using in the clan boss for the early game to end game players who are not building or using unkillable teams, right? So it's definitely one to watch out for. This clan boss run will be considered a success because we still survived up to this turn 30 and we've dealt up to 40 million damage, which guarantees us a 2-key Ultra Nightmare. Even a 3-key will be acceptable numbers if a Wixwell can help you reach those numbers in that early game. So I'd love to hear your feedback about this champion. Obviously, this is not the unbreakable shield comp. This is just a normal shield comp, not speed tune at all. It was all over the place. I had to interfere sometimes and stop Toragi from placing the ally protection at the wrong time and all that. But Wixwell could not consistently increase the duration of all the buffs. I thought the boss would go like a 5-turn buffs. I'll have like 10-turn buff on me. No, we still took turns around him, except you make him faster than everybody else, much faster than everybody else, so you can lap them and increase duration of these buffs to like a 4-turn, 5-turn ally protection, but he couldn't consistently do it. I've seen some champions do it like that, but he is not one of them, I guess. Depends on the speed of the other allies in the team though. Of course, the Relentless set was supposed to help him and he did take extra turns. He was not in danger of dying. We don't have any healing. We don't even have a leech, but this battle became a successful one. So that's my showcase for Wixwell. I'm not going to accept this run. I'll close it and run my normal Ultra Nightmare Bat Eater comp that does a 1-key. But he's definitely one to watch out for and use in that content. I'd love to hear your comments below where you use this champion, and hopefully I'll be using him, of course, in City of Centranos, because maybe I don't use him in Clan Boss, I don't use him in Demon Lord. Maybe he'll feature in my Hydra teams because I need that a consistent provoker in that Hydra team. He might be the champion I use for that content with high enough resist so that his counter attack does not get stolen, or he becomes the targeted head that will be the one that, you know, has high resistance in my team, just like a Krisk who normally have high resistance because he has more shields, more buffs than everybody else in the team. So he becomes the target head. Anyways, I'd love to hear your comments below about this champion. I'll rate this champion an 8 out of 10 for sure. Yeah, amongst fusion they've done so far, we have Amans and now we have Wixwell. These are the 2 champions that were amazing fusions in the year of 2024. Hopefully before the end of the year we'll have another one coming up. For now, we are still celebrating those 2 champions. We're using them everywhere, while the other fusions, they are, you know, lost and forgotten or still in the vault. Definitely not a vault keeper, even if his name says so. I'll end it right here. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'd love to hear your comments below which champion you want me to take a look at next. Later, guys.